Hey guys, hope you're well. Just wanted to give you an update. We'll start with the big news first. Danny Masterson has been sentenced to 30 years in prison, meaning 30 years is the lightest sentence he could get. At least spend 30 years in prison, although with appeals and other stuff and good behavior, certainly not a guarantee for that happening. Wanted to give you an update about where I am personally. I am fortunately not in LA. I was diagnosed with bronchitis. So very sick, specifically acute bronchitis. So felt like it would be playing with fire to go. I am also heading up north to see my mother for a few seconds and then going to New Hampshire. So I'll have to fly again to go up there and then do some work for the primary in New Hampshire, do some freelance work and also some YouTube stuff as well. But there's a ticking clock with that. And I had my ticket and I was thinking about getting on the plane, and what if nobody else was going on, but the information that you'd get from me would be the same information if you watch Mike Ringer or Aaron Smith-Levin or Jeff Augustine. So was happy to help out Aaron on the 4th of August as well as with the trip 2 weeks ago because nobody else was going out. So that information needed to be learned and there needed to be somebody covering the trial for those specific days. But after that, I kind of felt like it was less consequential. So if it was for the 4th of August or the 23rd of August, even despite being sick, I would have hopped on the plane. But I figured since Aaron's already there and a lot of other YouTubers that you watch, figured I'd rest up and try to be well enough to see my mother and hop on the plane as well. So sorry I couldn't be in the flesh in LA. Also, finances were running kind of low, and I thought to do another push for this last trial, but then I thought, why try to raise money just to broadcast some information that already exists anyway. So figured there really wasn't much of a point for that, and you guys gave me a lot, and I was able to raise a really nice amount for the 4th as well as for the 23rd of August, which I really appreciate, but I didn't feel like I needed to do another push for this last date. And there was an unexpected trial date. I assumed I was going to show up August 4th, and then September 7th. And then all of a sudden, this new date happened with the motion to dismiss with or without prejudice. That happened, so I had to cover that. In terms of that news, in terms of whether Masterson can be charged in connection with a hung jury on Jane Doe 3, there's still time to debate that. So there wasn't a decision today at the courtroom on that specific aspect, which is interesting. So it'll be interesting to see in the future if there will be a trial for Jane Doe 3 and how that will work. And keep following my channel because even though I wasn't able to be there, which I regret, would have loved to, but as you can see, it's bronchitis is bad. But I will have interviews kind of chewing on the verdict. Aaron Smith-Levin will have all the juicy details and the main interesting aspects. But I will have quite a few interviews with people involved in the case, talking with Mike Ringer to do an interview with him. That'll probably be a week down the road, but closer than that, either today or tomorrow, I will interview Jeffrey Augustine and Karen de la Carriere. She was known kind of as a queen of Scientology, was an auditor for Lisa Marie Presley, and her husband Jeff have become amazing friends of mine. I've seen them each time I visited LA, and we've had a great time getting dinner. I'll also connect with Graham Barry, who's an attorney, and we'll talk with Graham Barry about the future court cases of Scientology, which at a minimum there are about 4 of them. And of course I want to cover each and every one and be stationed. Before I was flying I'm currently in Fort Lauderdale. I was flying from Fort Lauderdale to Tampa. When the next trial happens, I'll just be in that city. So that'll be a lot easier versus flying and then 48 hours later flying back. That's what killed me and gave me bronchitis last time, was the back and forth flying in such a truncated amount of time. But a lot of interesting stuff to look forward to. Interview with Jeff Augustine and Karen, Mike Ringer down the road, Graham Barry. So for my YouTube, we'll kind of chew on the scene and chew on the verdicts a little bit. Aaron will be there with a lot of the facts and the details, and then I'll be there to talk about kind of the human scene, the emotions, what happened that day. And Jeff is such an interesting person, so expect either today or tomorrow for that video to come out. Hope you guys understand, but wanted to rush out a video and at least give you the verdict. 30 years, so in some sense, Masterson might be feeling slightly optimistic, but that's the big news of the trial. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it.